Well, good morning. I've been walking for several hours now, so I thought I'd tune in and let you see how I'm walking. I started off very early, hence it was a bit dark to be filming, but now it's at about 10 o'clock or just after, and I'm about 2 hours or so away from the Vatican City, and I'm here on the path, and I'm hoping, very much so, that it will be very similar to this all the way down into the Vatican City. So I'll show you a bit of the type of path I'm on at the moment, which is very nice because it's a specified walking path and cycling path. So this is what I'm currently walking on. And if it's like this all the way into Rome, I'll be very happy. But I'll start to tune in again when I'm closer to Rome, just so that you know where I am and what I'm doing. Well, here I am. As you can see in the background, that's the Dome of St. Peter, St. Peter's Basilica. And I'm literally on the other side of the valley. So I'm on one of the 7 hills of Rome, around Rome. This morning, as you can see, I've pretty much walked on that footpath all morning. It's been a wonderful walk in, and I'm so pleased that I chose to come out today and not yesterday, because today is just a glorious sunshiny day and there's no better day to walk into Rome. So I'm only about half an hour or so away, I think, from walking into St. Peter's Square in the Vatican City, and then I'll be complete. I will have walked the journey from all the way from Chepstow down through France and Italy and into Rome, with a few bit of helping hands along the way because of various things like injury and time constraints. But again, trusting in the kindness of others, and others have just been so generous and supportive of my journey so far. So next time you'll see me on this video, I'll be in St. Peter's Square. So I'll see you in a few minutes for you, well, a couple of seconds in the next clip. So I'll see what sort of wonderful magical editing that Greg can do for these clips. Take care, see you in a sec. Well, this is the route over to the Vatican City. I'm going to be walking across this viaduct, which is quite amazing. If you can see in the distance, and down these stairs and across there, and then I'll be across into Rome proper and walking towards the Vatican City, St. Peter's Square. Okay, here I come around the corner, and I'm coming into St. Peter's Square. So I'll just keep. This is where my walking is, and you can see the wonderful columns of the outside of St. Peter's Square as we approach. So I'll just keep walking through. So about 2,800 kilometers later, here I am wandering through towards St. Peter's Square and the end of my pilgrimage. So here we go. And obviously it's a Jubilee year this year, so it's always going to be very busy here in St. Peter's. So here we go, you can see the sign coming up. There we are, Piazza St. Pietro and Basilica and the Dome. Like sheep following the crowd. There we are, there's the obelisk, and there's St. Peter's, and I'll give you a sweep. There we go. There's St. Peter's Square. I have now arrived in Rome. I'm going to go around so that you can see the entrance of the Basilica. And all these wonderful pilgrims, I assume. Perhaps not. Maybe just tourists. But here we are. You can see all the chairs out ready for the general audience coming in the coming days. And there we are. There's the entrance to St. Peter's Basilica. Not sure how much it reflects the glory of God or the image of Christ and the humble nature of St. Francis and Jesus, but impressive nonetheless for a human structure. So here we are. That's the end of my pilgrimage. Well, here I am, St. Peter's Square. There's the proof. There's the Basilica in the background, and there's the wonderful St. Peter's Square, the obelisk, and all the surrounding. And so, as you can see, I will be possibly popping in there later, maybe, to pay my respects, to pray for all the wonderful people who have helped me all along the way and shown me such kindness and generosity. I'm only here because of all of you, for all of you who have supported me both physically, financially, with rooms, with food, with your prayers and your support, your constant encouragement on Facebook and Instagram and other places. I can only say how grateful I am, and just how it proves that we are all made in the image of God, and God's image does shine through, particularly amongst us regular folk. If only that humanity that I've experienced along my way could be experienced in the halls of power across this world, we would be in a much better place. So this is me. I have made it. My pilgrimage is officially over, although we are lifelong pilgrims and we never stop walking the way that God shows us to walk. So I will continue to be a pilgrim of hope, a pilgrim of peace, a pilgrim of justice, as I encourage all of us to be. So signing out for now, and I'm sure I will do a longer form video on my return back into the UK, with some highlights and reflections of all that I've encountered and learnt personally and spiritually along the way.